Only on 7 News, it was a meth house certified as clean until a CALL7 investigation found it wasn't done properly. And in most cases, no one's checking.
CALL7 investigator John Ferrugia is live now. John, the state legislature is very concerned about this.
That's right, Mike. The real question here is, how do you know when you buy a home, especially a foreclosure, that it isn't contaminated with meth? Well, up to now, no one has been checking the work of the companies that certify these homes. After seeing the results of our investigation, one state senator wants to change that. Mr. Dennison, how are you? I'm John Ferrugia. I'm from over Channel 7. Jim Dennison is a hygienist whose company, like many others in Colorado, tests meth houses after cleanup to certify them safe. If everything was done correctly, then why are you here to retest? He certified this Denver home for a bank that foreclosed.
And this is a return.
We had the house tested by an outside company that took several samples and found high levels of meth. Now Dennison is back, along with the crew who is cleaning the house for the second time to bring the property into line with state standards.
We're doing additional sampling.
And why is that?
That the state asked for increased sampling on this house.
Right. And why did they ask for that?
They asked for it because they're changing their requirements.
In fact, neither of those statements is true. The state has not changed its requirements for meth cleanup. And it was the owner who negotiated his return after she asked the state health department, at our behest, to review Dennison's report that asserted that the house had been cleaned and was tested by state standards.
The thing we're concerned about is getting these levels down so that the kids can move in.
Monica Divelbess helped her son and daughter-in-law renovate the house. They were unaware of lingering meth levels until we brought in an outside company to conduct further tests. She then took the second report, along with the first, to the state health department.
They reviewed it and said that the levels were still not within the regulations and that it wasn't done properly.
Based on what you know now, would you move into that house without further cleanup?
Without further cleanup? Probably not.
Colleen Brisnahan is an environmental protection specialist with the state health department and deals with meth cleanup.
I had some concerns with the way the cleanup was done by the cleanup contractor, the method that they used, and then I had concerns with the way the final sampling was done.
Essentially, they didn't follow the cleanup regulations.
Exactly.
The state health department looked at your report and analyzed it and said it was not done per state regulations, that it did not meet state regulations. What do you say to that?
They're incorrect.
Once you find the cleanup wasn't done correctly, what can you do about it?
Nothing. We have no authority to enforce the requirements of the regulation.
Brisnahan says local counties can review the paperwork and cleanup, but most don't because they don't have the money, including the city and county of Denver. Does the state statute require a review by anyone?
No.
It is a loophole. It's because none of these jurisdictions really have any money to hire anybody to come back and make sure that these places truly are clean.
After seeing the results of our investigation, State Senator Lois Toktrop, original sponsor of the present meth cleanup law, says there must be new oversight to ensure public safety.
And I think we need to look at up front that we would require the owner to pay a fee to the jurisdiction. This would give funding to the jurisdiction that they can follow up and make sure that that place is clean.
By the review and by testing?
Yes.
Back at the house where Monica's kids are preparing to move in this month with their 2-year-old daughter. Hi. The issue is clear.
She's going to run around, she's going to get into things, and we just don't want her or them getting sick.
And for her and home buyers across the state, the proposed new legislation would hold cleanup companies accountable for the first time. So there's no dispute about whether state regulations have been followed and a property is safe. Now be clear, that proposed fee paid to the city or county would only be required of the owner of the meth house. And that would include a house that's busted by police or a meth house discovered in a real estate transaction. And given all the foreclosures in our state, Senator Toktrop thinks she's going to get real pushback and opposition from banks and realtors on this one. On a final note, the companies who conduct these meth cleanups in Colorado are not specially certified, nor are the industrial hygienists who sign off on the work licensed. So their abilities and qualifications can vary widely. But again, Mike, with no one checking, who's going to know if the job's done very well?
You'll be checking, right?
We will.
All right, John, thank you. And if you have a news tip for John or any of the CALL7 investigators, give them a call at 303-832-7777 or contact us through email, Facebook, or Twitter.
I've got a great shot from